Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope you guys having a good day, or hoping that you guys have better days ahead. This is Marlon here, and this is episode 77 of Mushroom City of Minecraft. How you guys doing? Well, right now, all I can say is, folks, is that today is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, and, well, my weather... Well, all I can say is that it was quite a depressing way to start the day, only to end up with nice weather. That just happened since this afternoon. Okay, so now what's been going on throughout the country? Let's see what we got. Okay. Throughout the contiguous part of the United States, we did have a cold front, an area of low pressure at the center, just located. It's located just this offshore from Long Island and southern New England and off the Jersey Shore. All that's connected to the Canadian Maritimes and down south all the way to Texas, with the stationary front sweeping through Texas and New Mexico. Areas of high pressure dominating throughout parts of the west. Areas of low pressure throughout California, all the way to the northern Rockies. Though there is a cold front that's sweeping through parts of the Pacific Northwest, all the way down to northern California, and out in the Pacific. But right now, as you can see, folks, there are storms in the Pacific, located offshore from Mexico. One named Priscilla, it's a tropical storm, and it's expected to make landfall as a tropical depression somewhere around northern or southern part of Baja California. Then you have one that's currently in tropical storm octave, making landfall into, well, rather just becoming a tropical depression, but dying off before it even reaches Mexico. Then we got Jerry, which is located just off of the Windward Islands, which we're going to get to in about a couple minutes. Well, right now, let's talk about what's going on in the Northeast. But first things first, let's talk about the active weather alerts. 2 flash flood warnings in New Mexico. 1 special marine warning in Virginia, North Carolina. 9 high wind warnings and 4 flood warnings. Let's go to the Northeast. In the past 3 hours, we've had some showers that have been passing by through the Northeast since early this morning in the pre-dawn hours, thus causing some inconvenience for those who are out on the road for the early morning commute. But then everything had tapered down in places like the New York City area. But all is fine. Not too many problems on my end, though. In New England, they had storms that have been exiting the region since about 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Maybe some places, though, still having some spotty showers and clouds there. And as well as northern upstate New York, like the Adirondacks and the Thousand Island region, all the way to the center part of the state. Otherwise, it's quite dry throughout Pennsylvania and the interior parts of Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Jersey Shore, and as well as the New York City area. And let's not forget about southern New England. There is one special marine warning located in and around the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area, and on the southern tip of the Delmarva Peninsula, and in northeastern North Carolina on the northern end of the Outer Banks. And because of this cold front, it's still affecting places like southeastern Virginia, like Norfolk and Virginia Beach, and as well as eastern North Carolina down to South Carolina. But on the eastern side, there were some thunderstorms on the western side, on the interior parts of the south, and still ongoing just outside of Athens and Gainesville, Georgia, just outside of the University of Georgia campus. And it looks like it's moving south elsewhere throughout Georgia, mostly on the central, southern sides of the Peach State, plus southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, southern Louisiana, and and southern and western parts of Texas. They're dealing with some thunderstorms right now. Florida, well, they're getting some storms, some showers moving into the Sunshine State with some storms coming from the northeast. But elsewhere throughout the Mississippi Valley, like Tennessee, and the northern parts of Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, northern Oklahoma, they're all clear. Just one flash flood warning still in effect near Daytona Beach, Florida, to the west. There is one flood warning, and it's in effect just northeast of Lexington in Paris, Kentucky. It's quite dry throughout much of the Midwest, virtually. So you can see, folks, the Pacific Northwest also dry, but just a little bit of clouds on the northeastern side of Washington State. Hi, Wild, welcome to the stream. Hope you having a good day, or hoping that your days get better. How's everything with you so far? And also, what's the weather in your area? In the desert Southwest, just some places getting some showers, maybe a few storms, but there are some flash flood warnings in effect located in Gila National Forest, and as well as another one just right between Silver City, or rather between the Socorro and Gallup, New Mexico. California and Nevada, Utah, they're quite dry. In southern Colorado, it's quite dry. And otherwise, it's just calm. Now, let's see. Let's go into this part where we talk about winds, current temperatures, and such. Yeah, my day, I'm just tired. Another day of work, but, everything else, it's just fine. But, I'm streaming, which is good. But all I can say is that it was quite wet, like early this morning. But then by the time noon arrived, rain started to taper off, and then I get sunshine. And I do have sunshine as the sun starts to set where I live. Well, let's take a look. In the northeast, you have northwesterly winds. And many places they're blowing at around up to 25 miles an hour. But Long Island and parts of the Jersey Shore, and as well as Cape Cod, they have wind speeds. They're moving around up to 30 miles an hour. Maybe a few places like Cape Cod moving close to about 40 miles an hour. Yet there is an area of there is a cold front, you can see, based on the sharp shift of winds. That's more along the lines in a linear fashion. That's a cold front. My day has been quite nice. This morning was about -1 or -2 degrees Celsius, 29 I think. And the afternoon was about 14 or 57. At least it's sunny. Well, that's good to hear. Though the temperatures are not something to be envied, most particularly like in the early morning hours. But in the afternoon, it's fine. I mean, I consider that it's very chilly weather in your area, Wild. But at least it's not like winter, though. But, it's fall. So, yeah, let's see what we got in the mid-Atlantic. It's winds shift to the south, moving up to 20 miles an hour, but in the Chesapeake Bay area, just a little bit of stronger winds, moving up to 30 miles an hour. In the southeast, you get winds that are coming from the north, moving to the south, but Florida has winds coming from the east-northeast. And you have across the Mississippi, winds shifting to the southwest. then they later shift in Texas to the west, moving around up to 20 miles an hour, maybe up to 30 miles an hour on the western side, except for Lubbock, where it's a little light, though. In the Ohio Valley, winds are coming from the north, shifting to the southwest. It's moving up to 20 miles an hour in general. In the Great Lakes, like Wisconsin and Michigan, winds are moving clockwise, but yet they're spreading out. Wisconsin has some light and variable winds, a little bit of lake breeze on the eastern side. And Michigan has winds coming from the west, moving to the south. In the Great Plains region, that includes the Dakotas, winds moving to the north and then shifting to the north-northwest. But in South Dakota, winds are blowing at around 40 miles an hour there. Otherwise, it'll be up to 30 elsewhere. In the northwestern part of the country, start off with Wyoming. Winds are moving to the northeast, shifting back to the north, moving up to 30 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in localized areas. But in Idaho and Montana, generally winds are moving to the north, as well as Oregon and parts of Washington State. Yet they're moving up to 30 miles an hour. Otherwise, just a little light though. But on the coastal side of the Pacific Northwest, winds are moving up to about 15 or 20 miles an hour, moving onshore. See what we got. Not winter yet. Usually don't start to get more consistent winter weather until November. Still got time. Yep, still got time. That is, unless if a really bad cold front starts showing up, and then, oh no, cold weather starts moving in. Winter says, I want to be there early. In the southwestern part of the country, you have winds. They're generally blowing to the north, but in New Mexico and Colorado, they're actually moving to the northeast, shifting back to the north once it arrives in the Great Plains. California, though, you have winds that are mostly blowing onshore, but they're moving generally to either the north or northeast. Moving up to 20 or 30 miles an hour in some places, or a little lighter elsewhere. That happened in 2020, I think. I see. Yeah, it's well, that has to be awful. While having a winter to show up like that, that's too early to call. Too sooner than expected. All right, so let's take a look at the temperatures right now. Just need to get myself comfortable right now. Okay, so let's take a look. Temperatures. Yeah, no kidding, lol. Temperatures throughout New England, they are in the 50s to mid 60s. Upstate New York and Pennsylvania, temperatures are in the mid 50s to the mid 60s. In the New York City area, temperatures are in the 60s to low 70s. The Mid-Atlantic temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 70s. West Virginia, 60s. In the southeast, let's take a look. Temperatures throughout the southeast, virtually they are, let's take a look. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, South and the Carolinas. Temperatures are in the 70s to mid-80s. Arkansas, they're in the 70s. Louisiana, 80s. Florida, you got temperatures that are in the 80s. Oklahoma, 70s. Texas, in the Panhandle, plus Electra, temperatures are in the 70s, plus Alpine. And the rest of western and central Texas, temperatures are in the 80s. Southern Texas, temperatures are in the mid-80s to mid-90s. Eastern Texas, temperatures range from the low 80s to mid-90s. In the Ohio Valley, temperatures in Kentucky and Indiana